Remember when an NBA game wasn't just a game? Back when two entire cities were genuinely hating each other for 48 minutes, sometimes for an entire decade? It was a war. It was personal. Throughout the whole history of the NBA, the thing that made time freeze when these games were happening was that those weren't just matchups. They were blood feuds. Imagine this for a second. You wake up. Not today, not even last year. You wake up on June 9th, 1985, and you're in Boston. The air around you, it's thick. Not just with the drizzle and fog the weather reports would have told you was happening that day. No, it's thick with palpable anxiety. This isn't just a day, it's the day. It's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Celtics, Lakers, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and your Celtics are down 3-2. You step outside. The city smells different, a bit more raw, exhaust mixed with the salty sea air. No smartphone notifications pinging. Instead, you hear the distant rumble of the T, the honk of an old taxi, and if you're near a diner, the clang of coffee mugs and thick Boston accents, all talking one thing: basketball. The vibe is nervous confidence. Everything is green. Faded shirts, felt banners, hand-painted signs in every bar window. This isn't just about winning a game, it's about preserving something sacred. The unspoken rule: we can't let them win here. As the day grinds on, all roads lead to North Station and the old Boston Garden. It's not the polished arenas we know today. This place is a grimy metal shed built over train tracks, but it's a cathedral in this city. The air around it is chaotic. Scalpers yelling, the smell of beer and hot dogs thick in the atmosphere. If you somehow manage to get inside, the atmosphere would hit you like a physical force. It's hot. It's probably smoky, with guys still lighting up in the upper decks. It's loud, deafening. The roar when Bird, Parrish, McHale run out, it's a shockwave. These aren't just players, they are gods. The Lakers, their arch rivals, are poised to do the unthinkable. Beat the Celtics in the finals, in the Garden. The stakes are immense. This isn't just a game, it's a battle for the soul of Boston basketball. And you're there for it. You witness the tension, the desperation, the slow, agonizing grind of a championship game. And then, the unthinkable happens. As the clock ticks down, the roar doesn't turn to fury. It slowly, agonizingly deflates into a stunned, horrified silence. The Lakers win. Pat Riley, Magic, Kareem, they celebrate on the sacred parquet floor. The greatest rivalry sees its villain conquer the hero, right in their own house. That's what it meant. That's the kind of raw, emotional investment, the kind of crushing defeat or exhilarating victory that rivalries delivered. It wasn't just a game. It was a chapter in a living, breathing epic. Speaking of Magic and Bird, have you ever wondered how similar your playstyle is to these NBA greats? Can you imagine comparing your own game to the legends? With the free HoopsDna app, now you can. Simply upload a video of yourself playing and let the magic happen. Get scores, improvement suggestions, and time to learn who your real NBA lookalike is. Ready to find out? Visit the HoopsDna app, link in the description, and use it for the next 10 days for free. All right, we talked about 85 Boston. Now, let's fast forward to the peak of brutality. Imagine you wake up on May 27th, 1991, and you are in Detroit, the lair of the bad boy Pistons. The atmosphere in Detroit that day, it's thick with frustration and impending doom. The bad boys, the league's champions, are down 3-0 to Michael Jordan and the Bulls. This is Game 4 at the Palace of Auburn Hills. The team that embodied pure malice is on the verge of being swept, and the city is ready for a defensive, desperate, ugly fight. You step outside, and the local talk isn't about victory. It's about making the Bulls pay. You hear arguments over the Jordan rules, the ruthless strategy of making him bleed for every basket. For years, the Pistons were the immovable object, the physical embodiment of hatred. And that hatred is boiling over, because they are about to lose their crown to their arch nemesis. The tormentors are now the tormented. For 3 brutal seasons, the Pistons knocked Jordan out. This game, at their home, is their last stand. As evening falls, the Palace is a pressure cooker. It's loud, tense, and utterly defiant. The bad boys are ready to deliver one last punch, one last technical foul, one last act of defiance to prevent the Bulls from celebrating in their house. You witness the game, and the inevitability is crushing. The Bulls dominate. And then, the signature moment. As the final seconds tick down and the Pistons' dynasty is extinguished, they deliver their final, most spiteful act. They walk off the court, refusing to shake hands with the victors. This wasn't just bad sportsmanship. This was the final, defiant declaration of pure, unadulterated hatred. That moment, right there in the Palace of Auburn Hills, was a true exorcism. It was Jordan not just winning, but conquering the spirit of malice itself. The bad boys' refusal to shake hands showed us that this wasn't just basketball. This was a personal, visceral rivalry, where one side truly despised the other. That kind of animosity, it creates legends.
We've journeyed through the fierce hatred of the 80s and 90s. Now, let's step into an era where the idea of a rivalry was tantalizingly close, yet ultimately unfulfilled. Imagine you wake up on January 27th, 2008. You're in Los Angeles. The air in LA that Sunday afternoon, it's different. It's less about tribal animosity and more about star power. The buzz isn't about two teams who genuinely despise each other. It's about two titans, two generational talents, finally squaring off. Kobe Bryant versus Lebron James. You didn't need to check the standings. You only needed to see the initials on the schedule. LAL versus CLE. When Kobe Bryant and LeBron James met in the regular season, the atmosphere transcended the typical Tuesday night NBA game. It felt less like a contest between two franchises and more like a global summit where two kings were meeting to determine the true ruler of the league. Every fast break, every trip to the free throw line, and especially every isolation play where the two superstars guarded each other carried the weight of the playoffs. That sheer collective anticipation, fueled by years of waiting for their inevitable championship clash, made those regular season games an absolute must-watch spectacle. A fleeting taste of the epic rivalry the basketball world deserved. You step outside into that bright LA sunshine and the energy is palpable, but it's a different kind of intensity. This is the league's undeniable passing of the torch. Everyone's talking about who's the best, who's going to win MVP. It's the king of LA against the king of the East. The question isn't if this is a rivalry, but when will it ignite into an NBA Finals showdown? Both men, at this point, are in their prime, carrying their respective franchises. Kobe, the hardened champion, cementing his legacy in LA post-Shaq. LeBron, the phenom, dragging the Cavaliers to contention almost single-handedly. Every matchup between them felt like a preview of an inevitable finals clash that the entire basketball world was craving. This was the heavyweight battle everyone wanted to see for the championship. As evening falls, you're heading into the Staples Center. The atmosphere is intense, charged with anticipation. The crowd isn't just cheering for their team. They're there to witness a duel. Every possession, every one-on-one isolation between Kobe and LeBron elicits a roar. You're watching two legends pushing each other. A preview of what should have been an all-time great finals rivalry. It's a classic, high-scoring, back and forth. Kobe drops 33, LeBron drops 41. The Cavs win a close game, 98-95. It's everything you'd want from two superstars going head-to-head. And as you leave the arena, the prevailing thought isn't about hatred or bitterness. It's about excitement. It's the hopeful, optimistic feeling that this is just the beginning. That next year, or the year after, these two titans are destined to meet on the biggest stage. But here's the kicker. That final showdown? It never happened. Not once. Due to injuries, conference imbalances, and the shifting dynamics of the league, the ultimate rivalry of the 2000s remained a what-if. It's a powerful example of how sometimes, even with all the ingredients, the league itself can prevent those truly epic, era-defining rivalries from ever fully igniting. It left a void, a nagging question mark in basketball history.
We've seen the fire, we've seen the fury, we've seen the potential. But now we come to the present day. Look around the league. Where is that sustained, blood-boiling rivalry that defines an era? It's gone. The simple truth is, the current NBA environment actively works against true rivalries. The two biggest killers are friendship and fluidity. The top guys spend their summers together, training, vacationing, and building true relationships. When the game starts, that professional dislike is replaced by mutual respect and handshakes. It's the brotherhood effect. The genuine feud is gone. And then there's the revolving door of player movement. Rivalries aren't born in a single season. They're forged over years of sustained playoff combat between the same core players. When teams, and their star trios, only stay intact for 2 or 3 seasons before a trade request or free agency shifts the entire landscape, that deep-seated institutional grudge can't take root. How can the Celtics truly harbor a hatred for the Bucks if half the rosters change every other year? We have amazing talent. We have incredible scoring. But the absence of a true, dynasty-defining, personal rivalry leaves a huge narrative hole. We're left with moments of tension, yes, but nothing that feels like a true, season-long, franchise-to-franchise blood feuds. That intense passion, that driving hatred that made the games feel like life-or-death events, that is the legacy we've lost in the modern, amicable, constantly shifting NBA. And that, right there, is the NBA's biggest problem. And that wraps up our dive into the past and present of the NBA. And don't miss out on the opportunity to compare yourself with the all-time greats for free using the early version of HoopsDna by visiting the link in the description just for the next 10 days. Let me know in the comments, who did you compare yourself to? How high was your score? Who your NBA lookalike really is? And give me some feedback on the overall experience. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more epic basketball content. You can also click this video right here to watch the biggest accomplishment of Giannis Antetokounmpo's incredible journey with Greece. Thanks for watching.